Hello all of you awesome people out there, and hey hero, thanks a lot for joining me. Now this is going to be the first episode of a new series I'll be doing all about PI, that's planetary interaction within EVE, how you can make money from it, how it's set up, and basically how the whole thing kind of works together to help you build bigger and better things if that's what you're into, or just make a little bit of extra money. So to start off with here, let's have a look at the skills we'll actually be needing to start setting up our little colonies on these planets. Want to open up your skills for me? There we go, I'm already on the planet management kind of set of skills, and there is only 5 altogether, so it's quite easy to train into, although you do need to be an Omega account. You need to be on a paid account, not an alpha account, to be able to do anything to do with PI. And yeah, there's 5 skills altogether. The first one being advanced planetology, that's just planetology but more advanced. The main one being the command center upgrades. Now just like a ship, it kind of has like a CPU and power grids. This will allow you to basically put more structures on a planet. Second being interplanetary consolidation. This will allow you to have more planets under your control, so you can build on, I think the start is like 2. Once you get to level 1, 2, 3 and 4, you can build up to like 6 planets. We then have planetology, which is all about scanning planets, which we'll get into in a moment, and we have remote sensor stuff as well, which again, it's all about like scanning and stuff. I just want to hover over advanced planetology. There we go, you can see it's just planetology, but again, just helps with scanning planets and stuff. So other than that, you don't need anything else really. You will need a cargo ship obviously to bring your loot, which you manage to get backwards and forwards, and the best one to go for is what here is in here, the Epithol. That's because it gives you a 10% bonus to ship planetary commodity hold capacity, so you can get more of your PI items in there. And if you fit it correctly as well, let's have a look at your fitting, hero. There we go. If you do put 3 expanded cargo hold like mods in the lows, you get over 1,000 meters cubed in your normal cargo hold. You can get the command centers in there, or be it one at a time, but you can actually get them in there to transport them to the planet. So talking about the command centers, let's have a quick look at them. Sorry if I'm going a bit fast, I just don't want this episode to drag out too much. You can see we do actually have 7 command centers, all so basically starting with the planet's name, which they can be deployed on. So if you're going to be setting up a lava planet, you'll need the lava command center. So you want to right click on one of them here. Let's have a look quickly at what the info page kind of tells us. There we go, it tells us the mass, power, output. None of that's really important. The important one is the planet type restriction. So like I said, if it's a lava planet you want to deploy on, you will need a lava command center, and the description gives you a nice little bit of bump in there as well if you ever want to read them. So that's pretty much all you'll need. You'll need a little bit of ISK as well, because as you start building things on planets, you will have to pay for them. You don't drop raw materials off like you would say building a ship. You actually tell it what you want, and it will take ISK off you to produce the facility on the planet. So other than that, hero, do you want to just undock and go pick a planet, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so here is off to his pre-chosen planet. Now it is worth noting that resources are spread out across multiple planets, but cannot be found on every planet. So take note of what it is you want to be producing or collecting or gathering, and pick planets accordingly. Now you also do not need to warp up to a planet to view it. You can simply click the planet in your overview and then click the planet's productions button like here is just done, and from here you can scan the planet down and make sure it's got all the necessary resources you want. Another thing to check when you're actually picking a planet, especially in high sec, is the tax rate of its customs office. Now every planet will have a customs office. A lot of them in high sec are owned by NPC corps, and I think it's a flat rate of about 11 to 15%. Corp owned ones can vary. I have seen them as high as about 30% and as low as about 5%. This one here is owned by my corp, Disowned Heroes, and if you simply click on it and then click the show info button, at the bottom there you will see the tax rate is 14%. Obviously if you're in my corp Disowned Heroes, it's a lot lower. So bring on the plug if you do want to join a very player friendly corp, whether you're a returning player, new player, existing player, whatever it is. Simply send me an email or search Disowned Heroes and we'll get you in. We've got a lot going on. We do mining, production, PI, we do a little bit of PvE, PvP, we do the lot. So it's definitely worth getting in if you're looking for a corp, and we have a lot lower tax rate overall than the NPC corps. But yeah, always check the tax rates, because also the corp can change these whilst you're doing PI, so you might be 15% one day, and then in a week's time when you come to get stuff off planet, it might go up to like 40, so you never know. Right, so this is the planet. As you can see, we are in high sec, so this planet is going to be quite low on resources. If you do go to low, null, or wormhole space, you'll see the resources are a lot more, which means you can produce more per hour than you can on its higher sec counterparts. So what you need to do is click the planet productions button again, and this is the main window where everything is going to happen. So get used to viewing planets like this for a little while. Now on the top left we do have two buttons, one for scan and one for build. We're currently on the scan option, but since we're not actually scanning for anything, it's all a bit, not there. Click on build for a sec for me, hero. There we go. The only thing we can build so far is a gas command center, since this is a gas planet, and you do need to have a command center down before you can build anything else. So back to scanning, we can see the 5 basic resources there we can get from the planet, with a little white bar next to them indicating how much can be found on the whole planet. Now, since we're in high sec, as I said, this is quite low. If you did go to null or wormhole, it would be a lot higher. So what's the 2 you're after, hero? I think it was 2 you're after. Yeah, the aqueous liquids and the ionic solutions. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to select the material you're after, and then using the drag bar like hero is now, go all the way to the right, and you can see we kind of have nothing to show for it again. This is because we've kind of zoomed out of the scanning, and you want to just slowly move it left until you start to see little white spheres or little white blobs appear on the screen in amongst the red. This is going to be the highest concentrations of that material on the planet, and that's where you want to be aiming to put your extractors. Now, since Hero is actually looking for 2 types of material on this planet, he's going to have to scan for both of them, and he's going to want to try to find 2 kind of white blobs close enough to each other that he doesn't have to spread his whole colony out across the whole planet. That is a bad thing, and we'll go into why later on. So here's when I hurry up and start scanning, and then we'll come back to you when you're ready to start placing things down. So you've got all your scanning done then, Hero? Found 2 nice blobs next to each other? Great. What you need to do now is click the build button, and we'll place this gas command center down. Simply click it, and then move over to the planet, and click again to place it. Now you can zoom in and out by scrolling the mouse wheel, there you go. And it's also worth knowing that the command centers do not actually have to be part of your colony, so you can place them wherever you want, and you can build anywhere on the planet. We like to keep things simple, don't we, here, and put everything together. Yeah, so we're just going to place it next to roughly where we're going to be building. So you see now he's placed it, and edits pending window has appeared in the top left. Simply hit submit on that, and that will clarify that you definitely want to put that there, and it's basically now placed it. It's set in stone. It is there. The planet's now yours. You can view it from the colony window if you would like to, and you can now even make other alterations while safely docked up in space. Right, so what we're going to do now, as Hero's doing, is simply click on the gas command center, or your command center depending on what planet you're on, and you're going to want to upgrade it as far as you can. Like I said, setting up colonies requires CPU and power, and that's all kind of managed through this command center. So click the first button on the left here. It's just quickly highlighting all the buttons you've got there. But we want the first one on the left, which is upgrade, and since we're only at level 4, we are 1 upgrade short of max power. So simply click on it and then click upgrade at the bottom there. You can see there is a cost for upgrading. It's 4,200,000 for us, but that we will not be charged that until, again, we click the confirm button or the submit button at the top left where it says edits pending. That's quite useful, because what you can do is you could essentially set up a whole colony and do not click submit till the end, and if you did like it, obviously hit submit, and if you didn't, you would just click cancel. So that is it. The planet is now ours to do with as we like. So we can actually start building our colony now. As you can see on the left hand side underneath build, we now have lots of different gas related facilities. You've got extractor control units, you've got basic industry, advanced industry, storage facilities, launch pads. We can create links, and we can start decommissioning things. So Hero, click on the extractor. That's the first thing you're going to want to put down, and simply place it down the same as you did the command center. As you can see, we've got like a ring, an orb kind of around the extractor control, and that's going to be the radius in which you can place the extractor heads, I'm going to call them. I just can't remember the exact name. And basically you want to make sure that the location you want to start extracting materials from is within that circle. So there's one here. You're going to want to place another one since you're doing 2 different types of materials, so simply place that down. Come on. There we go, and that's them both down. Now at the top left there you can see it says edits pending once again, and that's going to cost us 90k, which is a very minimal cost for setting something like this up. So what you need to do now, once you're happy here and you've double checked that they're exactly where you want them, is hit submit, because once you hit submit, as we know, it's set in stone. That's it. You're going to have to actually pay money to dismantle them and then pay money again to set them up where you wanted them. So yeah, they both look pretty nice. You've got some nice concentrations of materials around there to actually start mining. So hit the submit button. Come on, we haven't got all day here. Submit. There we go. And as you can see, 90k has just been taken out of our bank. So that's it. We've got the extractor controls down, but as you can see, we're not actually getting any resources yet. So we need to do something with these. So if you click on them, it brings up the extractor control units kind of window, and that brings all sorts of nice little buttons and stuff we can do. But the one we're interested in is the first button on the left. Hero. Come on, there we go, which is install extraction program. Yes, we can view the products, stats, links, the routes, and we can decommission it as well. So basically, if you want to make any changes to any of these facilities, just click on them. The buttons are there, and that's going to bring up like another scanning view, but like you can see, we haven't clicked anything to scan for, so everything's gone back to the natural kind of gas planet color. So the extraction control unit extraction program window, now that's a mouthful. On the right hand side there, you can see you've got a list, or well, little options there for each material on the planet. So what you want to do is you want to click on the one you're going to be extracting. There you go, and it brings the scan window back up. On the left hand side there, Hero, you've got installed extractors. What I want you to do, since we only have 2 extractors running, it's going to be a very basic setup, is simply click on them all to install them. And as you can see, if you look on the planet, we've got lots of little like tentacly arms coming off with extractors with their own little like extraction radius bubbles around them. And yeah, might as well get them all here, because I don't think we're going to be that short on power. And that's it. We've now got 8 extractors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make that 10 extractors, sorry. All ready to start extracting away. But they've got in this like circular pattern, which is not ideal. But luckily we can move them. We also, where Hero is now, have a program duration. So this is how long they're going to extract for before they stop. Now you can run this from anything from an hour up to I think 28 days. But to be honest, you kind of want to come back and check, you know, whenever you want to, whenever you feel the need to. So for Hero, I'd say about 2 days might be good enough. So every 2 days you'll have to come back and set it up running again. The longer you leave it running over time, the less and less you're actually going to be extracting. As you can see from the graph there, it's slowly dipping off. And as you can imagine, think of it as like a building site where you're building from the center out, except for these are extracting from the center out. Eventually you're going to have to be traveling further and further and further away to bring the materials back to the extractor, which then needs to be taken back to the extractor control unit, which in my mind, that like kind of scenario plays out and makes sense. To you guys it might not, but just remember that it does dip off over time. And we can move them by simply as Hero's doing now, clicking each extractor control extraction head thing and dragging them around to where you want them. So what you're looking for here is in the bottom right of the extractor control unit, you've got average per hour and total. That's how much unit it's going to be gathering during its program duration, and obviously per hour. So you want to try and get a bigger number in there as you can. You can go off the numbers on the left hand side as well, where it says installed extractors, and just basically again aim for the bigger numbers. As you can see, every now and then whilst Hero's moving around, we do get some kind of percentages on there, which is like -1%, -2%, which are in red, and that's where the extractors are overlapping. You want to try to avoid overlapping the extractors, because like it suggests, you're going to be losing 1%, 2%, 5%, whatever it is, materials, because 2 extractors are sharing the same space. You can't mine to a material twice. So yeah, what I want to do now here is simply, we'll fast forward time. You place these exactly where you want them, and then place your second gas extractor control unit extraction heads exactly where you want them. All of this is starting to become a mouthful now, but yeah, get everything set up and we'll come back. And sadly, that's going to be the end of part 1 for this episode. I have had to split it into 2 because it was just getting too big to put up as one. So as always, if you did like this video, then please leave a like down below. If you haven't already subscribed, then hit the subscribe button to make sure that the next video pops up in like your recommended list. And other than that, stay awesome, and I'll see you here very soon in another video. Bye bye. How much ISK can I make mining? is mining in high sec even viable? And which